So let's break it down in a simple way. Their strategy is built on 5 core pillars. First, massive scale, managing trillions across global markets. Second, advanced technology, using systems like Aladdin to stay ahead of risks. Third, passive investing, owning broad markets instead of betting on individual winners. Fourth, influence, holding stakes in major corporations and shaping their decisions. And fifth, long-term vision, focusing on sustainability and future growth rather than short-term profits. And when you combine all of these elements, you get something incredibly powerful. A company that doesn't just follow the market, but helps define it. Now, here's the part that matters for you. You might not have billions of dollars or access to advanced algorithms, but you can still learn from this strategy. Instead of chasing hype, think long-term. Instead of putting all your money into one risky investment, diversify. Instead of reacting emotionally to market swings, focus on data and trends. Because the real lesson here isn't just about BlackRock. It's about how the smartest players in the world approach money. They don't rely on luck. They build systems. They manage risk. And they think bigger than everyone else. And once you start to see the market through that lens, everything changes. You stop looking for quick wins and start building real wealth. You stop reacting to noise and start focusing on what actually matters. So the next time you hear about market movements, stock rallies, or economic shifts, remember this. There's a good chance BlackRock is already positioned ahead of it. And the real question is, are you? What if I told you there's a single company that quietly influences trillions of dollars across the globe? A firm so powerful that governments listen, markets react, and entire economies can shift based on its decisions. Yet most people barely understand how it actually works. Today, we're diving deep into the strategy of BlackRock, and by the end of this video, you'll see why this company isn't just an investor. It's a system. Because here's the truth. BlackRock doesn't play the same game as regular investors. While most people are trying to pick stocks, chase trends, or react to market news, BlackRock is operating at an entirely different level. They don't just invest in the market, they shape it. And to understand their strategy, you have to start with one key idea: scale. BlackRock manages trillions of dollars in assets, making it the largest asset manager in the world. But it's not just about how much money they control, it's about how they deploy it. Instead of betting big on a few risky plays, they spread their investments across entire sectors, industries, and even countries. This isn't gambling, it's calculated dominance. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. BlackRock doesn't just buy stocks, they build systems. One of their most powerful tools is something called Aladdin, a risk management and analytics platform that monitors global markets in real time. Think about that for a second. While individual investors are checking charts or watching news updates, BlackRock is running advanced simulations, stress testing portfolios, and predicting potential risks before they even happen. It's like playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And this leads to their second major strategy: data-driven decision-making. Every move BlackRock makes is backed by massive amounts of data. They analyze everything: interest rates, geopolitical tensions, inflation trends, corporate earnings, even climate risks. This allows them to stay ahead of the curve, not react to it. But here's the part most people don't realize. BlackRock isn't just influencing markets through investments. They're also shaping the future through something called passive investing. If you've ever invested in an index fund or ETF, there's a good chance BlackRock is behind it. Through their iShares products, they've made it easier for millions of people to invest in entire markets instead of individual stocks. And this is where their strategy becomes genius. Instead of trying to beat the market, they've positioned themselves to own the market. When you invest in an index fund, you're essentially buying a small piece of hundreds or even thousands of companies. And BlackRock collects fees on those investments, no matter which companies win or lose. It's a long-term, low-risk, highly scalable model. Now let's talk about influence, because this is where things start to feel almost unreal. BlackRock is a major shareholder in some of the biggest companies in the world. We're talking about tech giants, banks, energy companies, you name it. And when you own significant stakes in so many corporations, you don't just sit quietly, you have a voice. The CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, regularly writes letters to CEOs around the world, outlining expectations on issues like sustainability, governance, and long-term growth. These letters aren't just suggestions, they're signals. When BlackRock speaks, companies listen because they know their investors are watching. And that brings us to another key part of their strategy: long-term thinking. While many investors focus on short-term gains, BlackRock is focused on decades. They care about how industries will evolve, how global trends will shift, and how companies will adapt over time. This long-term mindset allows them to make decisions that aren't just profitable today, but sustainable in the future. But here's the twist. BlackRock also works closely with governments and central banks. During financial crises, they've been called in to help manage assets, provide guidance, and stabilize markets. That means they're not just reacting to economic changes, they're actively involved in shaping responses to them. Now, you might be wondering, does this make them too powerful? And honestly, that's a question a lot of people are asking. When one company has this much influence over global finance, it raises concerns about transparency, control, and accountability. But from a purely strategic perspective, it's undeniable. BlackRock has built one of the most effective financial systems in the world.